Welcome to JGTCR. I'm Cope and today we are tuning the Citroën DS21 Pallas. Let's get into it. We expected much worse from this DS in factory trim, but we were pleasantly surprised. It is slow and a bit sloppy suspension wise, but it performs well as a package overall. The handling is quite responsive. It moves considerably accurately, albeit a bit on the wobbly side. The power is nothing to write home about, but it is acceptable considering the vehicle's age. However, it does struggle in fourth gear when an incline is involved. Third gear is the DS's power gear. The power delivery is very lackluster, but at least it means there is no wheel spin we need to contend with. The brakes are horrible. There is no way to use them without understeering into oblivion remastered. As soon as we touch the brakes, they want to lock up, so brake well before the turn and only in straight lines if we want to maintain control. Let's collect our time. Nine minutes, 48.2 seconds. And now the race tune. Being that the DS is front-wheel drive, the increase in power means we had to deal with wheel spin / torque steer / understeer. To deal with this, we made sure our body height adjustment was higher at the rear than the front. This shifts the natural weight of the vehicle forward. Our suspension settings, in general, are softer at the front than the rear. The soft front suspension allows more movement and grip, while having the rear suspension firm prevents the front from lifting, forcing it to grip. We also added 20 kilos of ballast at a ballast positioning of -25 over the front wheels. Without any front or rear aero, dialing in the tune was a bit of a challenge. Let's see how it performs on the Nürburgring. The Pallas DS is much more Blake lively and aggressive after modification and tune. With the high RPM turbo installed, it does make it seem lazy. But this actually works to our advantage as it prevents wheel spin in the bottom end. The handling is splendid. We always feel in control and the car moves with much gusto when we ask it to. The steering can almost be too responsive and we can often find ourselves turning in too much at times. The power seems well matched to the application, but it also feels like it could do with a bit more power. The power delivery is lazy, and that's a good thing. It helps with traction control and steering control. And when that power comes on full song, it hauls this Citroën quite well. The brakes are the Pallas's greatest weakness. Even the lightest touch of the brakes causes instant understeer in a straight line. So make sure to get all braking done well before the corner and try not to make any adjustments after turning in. Let's collect our time. Seven minutes, 8.8 seconds. And now it's time for an engine swap. The Citroën DS Pallas handles the engine swap very well. we can use most of the gears as usual without having to throw it into fourth and drive it like an auto. Considering nothing else has been done to this Citroën, it handles extremely well. It moves with decent intention on track, however, it does have some quirks we need to get used to. The steering works well, but is very sensitive to inputs. Aggressive brakes or accelerator can throw us offline easily. The power is good and gets us moving quickly. It is also considerably smooth running through the gears. The power delivery is okay. There is some wheel spin to contend with in the lower end, but it is easily managed with some throttle modulation. The brakes are still the worst. Be very cautious when using the brakes, as it can end a good run in an instant. Let's collect our time. 8 minutes 39.7 seconds. Moving on to the race tune. The race tune for the Pallas DS with the engine swap is similar to the non-engine swap counterpart with a little bit more extreme settings. The extra power forced us to be more aggressive with our tune, so we have more ballast of 60 kilos at a ballast positioning of -44. Our differential settings have all been reduced to 10 points each, and our suspension settings have been made softer and harder front and rear respectively. Let's race the Nürburgring. The Citroën Pallas DS with the engine swap is a full-on front-wheel drive missile that locks on and hits apexes as long as we have the skills to aim for them properly. The handling is incredible considering what we have built here. The steering, while mildly impacted by torque steer, does an amazing job of giving us an astounding amount of control even in wheel spin conditions. The power is huge for a front drive vehicle, but it handles it with class and completely downplays its strengths. Power delivery can be aggressive in the lower gears and bottom end of the rev range. Third gear is still our power gear, but we need to make sure we manage how the power hits the ground with throttle modulation and a bit of knowledge. That knowledge is that even when the gear seems like it's done, there is a bit more in it if wheel spin is involved, and trust me, there will be wheel spin involved. The brakes are still the bane of existence for this Citroën. They are better, but still miss to plow us off the road if we don't plan our braking zones appropriately. Let's collect our time. Six minutes 53.9 seconds. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!